Hello everyone, welcome back. In a recent community poll that I put up, the second most popular cartridge caliber combination that y'all wanted to see was the 22 caliber. Now I own 3 rifles in that cartridge combination. The 22 long rifle, the 223 Remington, and the 22 250 Remington. There's no possible way that I can do just one video on all 3 and show you shooting and other types of things. But I do have a playlist for each one, so if you want to jump ahead of those videos, you can go to those playlists that I'll list down here in the descriptions below so that you can get a full view of them. I've done over 300 videos and a lot on the same type of caliber confirmations, so I hope you enjoy that. But here comes the first one. It'll be on the 223 Remington. Hope you enjoy this. See you soon. Hello everyone, welcome back to Saddle Up Shooting. I'm Dave Strohmeyer, your host. Today I hope I have a good one for you because I only had about 8 more of these 50 grain VMAX using Power Pro varmint powder. As you know, Power Pro varmint's been discontinued, so I need to shoot those up. But what's going to be interesting for you is to find out what the difference between a 55 grain and a 50 grain in terms of velocity, and I hope to show you that today. Also, I want to go through a checklist, a pre-flight checklist if you will, for when you go out shooting, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Target set up at 100 yards, let's get shooting. Okay, on the bench is my 5.56 223. It's a pretty new setup. Obviously, I've added some accoutrements to it to make it more of a long-range varmint style rifle, which includes a 5x27 by 50 scope and a Magpul PRS Generation 3 stock, as well as a Rise Armament 140 trigger to make it a little bit better. And I do have a muzzle brake on there as well so that I can spot my shots. A lot of you talk about, 5-shot groups, etc. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that's all well and good for working up loads and that kind of thing if that floats your boat. But for a hunter, if I shoot more than 2 shots at a critter and miss both shots, I'm both a cussing and a fussing and trying to figure out what the heck happened. So the first 3 shots is what's crucial, and that's what I try to show on this, on my videos, because I'm a hunter first. Reloader for hunting purposes. I'm not a bench rush shooter, so real tight groups is not what I'm after. Sure, if it happens, I'm exasperated just like anybody else. I got an ego also. Okay, well, we're going to shoot these 55 grains now. You'll be surprised at what 10% reduction in bullet size from a 55 grain to a 50 grain, what it does in terms of velocity. And you're going to see that here because I'm going to shoot both. Alright, and because I don't have any more of this powder, or you can't get any more of this powder, I'm going to be testing new powders with 55 grain VMAXs. So anyway, let's go ahead and shoot these up and let's see how they hit. Let's go ahead and record the data and give it to you. Need to go turn on the target camera down there. Let's go ahead and get shooting. Now the last time I was out with this rifle, I couldn't understand it. It was darn right exasperating. Yeah, that is a real word in my world. The groups opened up or had flyers, etc., and I couldn't figure it out. I figured that it was shooter error, powder inconsistencies, bullet seating wrong, neck turning, not crimping the bullets, who knows? There's a plethora of things. But the simplest thing is to go through a pre-flight checklist every time that you go out, because my scope was loose. Folks, I have 15 different screws or attachments for my scope to my rifle. I've got a riser on here as well as the scope rings themselves, the lowers and the uppers, so a total of 15 screws. All 15 were loose. So, okay, let's go ahead and that's part of my pre-flight checklist. I went ahead and cleaned the barrel. That's part of my pre-flight checklist. Let's go ahead and see how these 50 grain shoot, because I need to get them shot up, as I explained. Can't get Power Pro varmint anymore, and I need to test new powders for that same bullet. But I also want to see what the velocity is. All right, let me go turn on the camera down there. Let's shoot. You'd be surprised what a 10% rejected lighter weight and projectile weight, what difference it makes in speed. So I am testing 50 versus 55. Okay, this says on the box that I'm supposed to get right around 3,400 feet per second with the Power Pro varmint, which I already explained is gone. All right, here we go. 3 shots. Well, looks like that scope tightening up made the difference. And you've probably seen it in a previous video where I tested 3 different bullets in this rifle, and they were kind of all over the place. Well, it wasn't the bullets. It was the user not checking his equipment and verifying that everything is tight and good. Okay, let's see, do I have any more bullets in there? Yeah. Let's go ahead and shoot till I don't have any. Yeah, it looks like I got one more. So there you go. You'll have your 5-shot group for those of you that enjoy 5 shots. Okay, those are 1-inch grids down there, so you can pretty much figure out what the distance is. I'm probably between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so that'll take care of the 50s. All right, the speed. Oh, heck, I forgot to plug in my chronograph. Or I unplugged it. Okay, that average speed was 3403 on the box. I've got 34, as high as 3459 and as low as 3403. So I'm right in that ballpark. Okay. All right, let's get out the 55s. Let me change the target down there, shoot a fresh, clean target for you. Let's get to shooting. All right, so let's go to these 55 grain nozzlers now. Let's see how they do. They should be a bit slower. According to the box here, I've got a different powder. I've got Winchester match powder. Let's see how they shoot. And I'll do 5 just to be fair, because these are cheap to shoot, so 5 is like shooting 2 of a larger caliber. All right. All right. Chronograph's on. Camera's on. Camera's on. All right, here we go. Fresh target. .3230, so what is that, 200 feet per second slower, or thereabouts, and 1 inch higher. 3200 even. Okay, that group was every bit of an inch, so the 50 grains were a little bit tighter. All right, well, do I need to show you those targets? I think you saw them. I got the numbers that I'm after. That was an average of 32.36. Come on, SD of 21. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, folks. Kind of rambling, but I needed to verify that the scope adjustments, as far as the lockdown is concerned, was my problem, and it appears that it was. So if you enjoyed this video, folks, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Check your subscriptions, please. Leave a comment if you will. But no matter what, as always, God bless y'all. See you again next time. Goodbye.